a sandwich. If I called a hot dog a sandwich, do you think that you would be fine with it? If not, then why? Let's bust this wide. Mary, Carrie, Kelly, oh my, is it a sandwich? Well, let's decide.
Welcome and thanks for joining us. I'm Matt Ordill, the one kid who didn't like animal crackers in his soup. So get ready because it's time. Order up.
I put weird things in my soup, but I never did that.
They're cookies. I never understood the song. Like, why would you put cookies in your soup?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I was a fan of Cookie Crisp. I had that in the States. Cereals are weird. Anyway, friends, I'm Kelly Zednikas. Welcome to Order Up. This is, what are we on now? Episode number 4 of our second season, where we are doing a deep dive into soups and cereals, asking the questions you didn't think you needed to know, like, is cereal soup? And we're not sure yet. The jury is still out. It's leaning more towards no at the moment, but we're going to get to the bottom of it. We will indeed. And I'm joined today by our producer and host, Matt Ordill, and our producer and host, Carrie Haim. We are without Mary Kennedy because right now she is in California doing some field research, asking things about gluten. So she can do that.
American gluten
today, Carrie. What's up?
My day, Kelly, has been okay. It's a snowy day here in Toronto, so I was chilly for the entire day. I was just cold the whole day. And the first thing I did when I came home was like turn on a heating blanket and just snuggle myself for a second. And now I feel a lot better. It was just one of those kind of gloomy, dark days, and it's just a bit depressing. So I'm happy to see you and Matt, because that cheers me up.
Yeah, no, it has been kind of a gloomy, dark day. And I say I never thought I would be someone who would lament a bar closing. But I'm down in the dumps because a Toronto landmark, Betty's on King, is going bye.
Oh no!
Matt, that's your local.
Yeah, we had our wedding party there.
I've had so many. I'm thinking about places like that fourth place. Like Starbucks says they're the fourth place. Betty's for me. I've been to, post-funeral hangs with friends to comfort. I've been there on dates long forgotten, on show celebrations, just everything in between. My mom did improv comedy there. The one and only time my mom ever did improv, because they used to do shows up on the second level. She got roped into doing that.
Wow.
I'm just down in the dumps, man.
Yeah.
Hard.
It's too bad. All the classic places are kind of disappearing, and it's sad. We
and the cast of Dragon's Den can't swoop in and save every concert venue and restaurant in Toronto.
Exactly.
Sadly, no.
So we'll raise a glass. They close on December 24th. By the time this airs, it will be long gone. But yeah, I'm gonna miss it, man. I'm gonna miss it. But you know what? Thinking about memories and cereal and childhood stuff, Matt and Carrie, who do you think would win in a fight, Captain Crunch or Tony the Tiger?
I don't. Captain Crunch is a military man.
Yes.
But Tony the Tiger is really into sports, so I think it would be I think Tony the Tiger might win on sheer strength, but Captain Crunch has the tactical advantage,
and he has the weapons. I assume if he's military, but I'm going to go with the Tony the Tiger, only because I know that in the commercials, we see, he's very encouraging of others, and he says, they're great, and he's a good guy. But really, I think we keep forgetting he's a tiger. He's going to kill whoever shows up in his face. So I think the tiger will definitely win on that one.
Yeah, that's where my heart's going to. And when I thought about this question, I was like, I think Tony the Tiger would do it. Either in a kill him with kindness thing of just you've got this, buddy. Enthusiasm, but also tiger. So.
Okay. I think maybe it boils down to, is this a land or sea battle? So if they're at sea, the captain has cannons. So I think he has the advantage there. On land, Tony's got the advantage.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I love it. We'll debate. Our listeners may send in their thoughts in the comment sections where you find us. But speaking of cereal, Matt, you were mentioning you've got like a bizarro cereal fact.
Yes. Yeah. So you don't see this much anymore, but when we were kids, you get prizes inside your cereal box, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the Quaker Oats people brought that to an entire new level of like Christmas story cross marketing kind of bizarreness. So, I mean, you remember Christmas Story where you can get the decoder ring and, drink your Ovaltine. Well, in this case, their cross-brand tie-in was with the CBS TV show Sergeant Preston of the Yukon. And if you sent in your box tops, you would get 1 inch of land for every box top of their cereal in the Yukon. So you would
1 inch,
1 inch, 1 square
like
inch of land of the Yukon would belong to you according to them. Now, yeah. I mean, there's a whole bunch of ethical questions tied up in there.
Whose land is this to give?
Well, so Quaker Oats founded a company called the Klondike Big Inch Land Co. So it was a subsidiary that handled their land affairs. But it was a subsidiary. I don't know if they just like appointed their nephew Josh to run it. But they never actually registered the leases or the deeds properly. So you'd get this land, but you never actually really owned it because it didn't tie back up to their deed, which they didn't register with the Canadian government properly. Then a court in Ohio said, "Yeah, no, this isn't cool." So then they just started giving people land. Because like they were like, "Okay, you don't even need a box top anymore. Here's some land in in the Yukon," and then in the 1960s, the Canadian government was like, "Hey, you guys owe us like $32.70 in taxes," and they're just like, "Okay, we give up," and folded. So people still claim to own land to this day in the Yukon due to box tops from the 1960s. So I guess there's that scam on YouTube where everybody was telling you too can be a lord by buying this 1 foot square of land in Scotland. Well,
I remember that.
This is the 1960s equivalent, just with box tops from Quaker Oats.
Wow, that is crazy. Oh my gosh.
Pretty bonkers.
Wow. I'd always be happy if I got like a sticker or a toy. Can you imagine walking? To me, this sounds like a Schitt's Creek episode.
Yeah.
Could be. That's really very bizarre. And I just, I don't know what to think about that. I remember we used to get like these plastic crap in our cereal boxes, and we were always so excited. Do you remember the feeling of digging down into the box with your
just
dirty little hands?
Grubby little hands, yeah.
With your grubby little, it's so disgusting to think about now, like just putting your hands into the box, trying to fish around for that little piece of plastic.
Yeah, I'd get a big bowl, empty the entire thing out, then rummage through, find the toy, and then put it all. And it would never go in, right? Because the box would like sort of bow, and you wouldn't be able to close it properly.
We had so many problems. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh man, that is crazy. I'm sure that haunted that company for a good long while.
That's crazy.
Don't talk about it. What was that song from? We don't talk about.
We don't talk about Bruno. No.
We don't talk about the failed Yukon land.
I mean, how much more colonizer can you get?
Seriously.
And a propaganda piece about the RCMP taming the wild north and then having an American company just give away land to children that probably belong to the indigenous people. I mean, like that's like stack some colonizer on your colonizer kind of thing, Like
that sounds like a movie ready to be made, actually. That might be interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Perfect. Wow, those are some crazy factoids. I would love it if anyone listening to the Order Up podcast has any relative who got land in the Yukon from that box top deal back in the day. Let us know. Oh man, how much do you think that's valued at now, Matt?
I don't know, but I did the conversion. So the $32.70 that they owed in taxes is now $289 in taxes that caused the company to go bankrupt.
That's bonkers.
Yeah.
Like I'm used to, getting, a plastic toy in my cereal, not, hey, here's land for the Yukon. Like, the weirdest thing. And just in time, Mary is back from her field work. Mary, how are the people in California dealing with this topic? Do they think cereal is soup?
Well, here in Los Angeles, really anything can be anything. That's all I'm going to say. Actually,
land of magic.
A restaurant opened on Gower called Cereal is Soup. And so I'm kidding. I'm just saying anything happens.
I'm just so excited for a second there.
And it's soy, vegan, appropriate, and there's a yoga class running at all times. That's what's happening.
Oh my!
People, I don't know. People are very zen here in California. So this girl from Boston, even after living here for 22 years, is still shocked. But yes, but they're listening to our podcast, and that's all that matters. Kelly.
That is all that matters.
That is all that matters indeed. Well, friends, it's episode number 4, season 2. Let's get started. It's time to order up.
Kelly, who is our guest today?
Oh my, I'm very excited to have this guest join us today. She is a Montreal-born, Ottawa-based comedian who began her stand-up journey 37 years after seeing the Eddie Murphy masterpiece, Delirious. And just a side note, I started comedy at the age of 37, so I feel like we have that in common, that number. Speaking of first sets, she did her first one in the year of 2019, and since then has performed everywhere from Nunavut, right at the top of Canada, down to Toronto, where she recently opened for the one and only Mark Norman. She hosts a podcast as well. It is called Shooting the Breeze, and probably by the time this episode of Order Up airs, she's going to be featured on The Tonight Show. She's just moving at the speed of lightning. Give it up for the very funny Simone Holder.
Yay!
Hello.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Thanks for being here. How's it going in Ottawa today?
Ottawa's fine. It's here.
It's here. A ringing endorsement of our capital.
Yeah, no, I haven't been outside since Saturday. It looks fine. Sure, it's okay.
I would love it if you leave your front door and Ottawa's just moved.
Yeah,
it's just gone. Anyhow, we're really glad you're here today, Simone. You've got some amazing comedic accolades, but we are going to just put them on the shelf for the moment to ask you some very interesting food questions. So, Carrie Haim, what do we have for Simone today?
This is hard-hitting journalism, Simone.
I'm ready.
So be ready. Here we go. What was the first thing you learned how to cook?
I'm thinking it was probably something simple like pancakes or biscuits.
Ooh, biscuits.
Because I remember making those as a little kid. So I'm pretty sure that either pancakes or biscuits are probably the first thing I ever cook.
I made pancakes this morning because my little guy said, "Mommy, please make special breakfast." So I made pancakes, but I've actually never made biscuits, and they're
so good.
They're good.
Really
I've eaten them, but I've never made them. I should try that.
Because I remember, I don't even know if we still have the cookbook. My mother had this cookbook that at the time was probably 50 years old.
Right.
And it had a recipe called like easy baking powder biscuits or something. Oh. And that's what I used.
I think I'm going to.
They were easy. They were really easy.
That's what I need in a recipe. Easy. Okay. Question 2. What meal takes you back to childhood?
Oh my goodness. Even though I'm Canadian born and raised, my parents were from South America, but the Caribbean part of South America, a country called Guyana. And my mom used to make roti and curry.
Ooh.
And I loved it. So I love roti and curry, with roti or curry with rice. So either one of those takes me right back. It's like my favorite dish.
That sounds delicious and so good in the winter.
Oh yeah. Like
right?
I can make it myself, except the roti. Roti is very difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't do it right, it ends up like a projectile, a frisbee sort of thing. So I cheat and I use like a tortilla.
Oh,
because every culture has
What is a roti?
It's a bread.
Oh,
it's a type of bread. It's a round, flat bread. So it looks like a pita, but it's not a pouch. It's flat. So the closest thing would be like a tortilla.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but it's a little bit thicker than a tortilla.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I use tortillas because because you got to clap it, and it's just very precise.
Yeah,
and everything I tried, and I could have like taken people out of like a ninja star to the neck sort of thing with these things. So
how did she die? It was a roti incident.
I tried to make roti and I killed her with it. Yeah. So.
But here's a question: is a roti when you make it a biscuit?
No, it's not a biscuit.
Oh.
No, it's not a biscuit.
She's grasping at straws, Mary is. All right, Simone, is there a food habit that would drive you crazy? Ooh. You tell. Okay.
One is hearing people chew.
Misophonia. It's called misophonia.
Misophonia, that makes me insane. But one that my ex-husband used to do that drove me insane was, let's say he's eating a biscuit or something. He would take a bite, put it down, fine. He could have like this much, like a tiny quarter-sized piece left, and he would pick it up, take a bite of it, and put it down and chew.
Oh my gosh.
And then pick that tiny piece up.
Oh no.
I'm like, throw it in your mouth. Like, it drove me insane. Because it's like there's a period of time where it's small enough.
Pop it in.
It's bite size. Just put it in your mouth. But no, he would insist on
picking
it up and taking this little tiny bite out of this piece of food that was just like the size of a nickel. He's like,
he just didn't want it to be over. It was just prolonging it.
I can understand safety.
Oh my gosh.
That made me crazy. That really, it was to the point where I think I would have preferred to hear him chew. And I remember saying to him, like, just eat it. Just put it in your mouth. Just you're done. It's almost finished. But yeah, I'm all hopped up now. Because I just thought it was so stupid.
That's
like,
kind of ridiculous. That does sound very annoying to watch. Oh
yes.
Oh my gosh.
If it was a biscuit, though, I have a question. Did he take the knife and put butter on that little piece of biscuit, like that tiny, or did he avoid that?
He didn't do that, thankfully, because
Okay,
I would have stabbed him with the butter knife. No, he didn't do that. Like if it was a piece of toast, he would do like put butter or whatever on it, but it was just the tiny pieces. Like one bite, put it down, chew for 10 minutes.
Wow.
Another bite till it was
Nelly.
like till the tiniest piece, and he would still insist on taking a bite of the tiniest piece.
That sounds.
I am bunching
I know.
up my chest. I'm so sorry. You say
I know. Me too. Just I'm gripping on my chair like.
It sounds very pathological. Like there'd be a whole study involved with that. Like that is bonkers. Well, I'm going to bring you down. I'm going to bring you down with the next question. And the next question is, what's your favorite breakfast cereal?
I don't like cereal.
I just don't order up a scandal.
But the thing is, like, if I would eat it, I would eat it without milk because I don't like milk either. So I would eat it like a snack. I'd eat it dry. And the one I like, but I can't eat it anymore because I discovered I have a severe allergy to almonds. Was honeycombs.
There's almond and honeycombs?
So
I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's almond in everything. There's practically almond in everything. So because I would eat it, like for the longest time, like I knew I had something with allergies. Like I would eat something and I would get like a little itchy and stuff, but it would go away in like a few minutes. But I want to say maybe 10 years ago, I had like a severe, like,
oh my
rush
gosh,
to the hospital EpiPen thing with like Exorcist head spinning projectile, that seemingly came out of nowhere, but I found out later that allergies can intensify, just as how you can get over them. They can intensify, and it intensified.
Oh my.
So I used to like take my chances and eat things with almonds because it wasn't so bad. But for the last 12 years, I haven't touched anything. And so I have to read labels and stuff like that. So back in the day when I used to eat stuff like that, I prefer to eat it dry.
My son eats it dry. My son, he drinks milk. He likes milk, but he does not like milk with cereal. So he just eats it as a snack. Any kind of cereal. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I did. When I was a kid, I know my parents like tried to make me eat it like that, but I never liked milk. I was never a thing with milk. And then it was just, I didn't like at like towards the end where it was like soggy and everything and just milk.
That's okay. We love you anyway. But this is the key question. This is why we're all here on Order Up. The big ticket question, and it's very serious, is cereal soup?
My first instinct is to say yes, because you eat it out of a bowl with a spoon, but then you could eat yogurt out of a bowl with a spoon and that doesn't make it soup. So I don't know if it's the liquid, maybe the fact that it's a liquid, even if it has like vegetables or noodles or meat in it. I think if the base is a liquid, that could be a soup, but I don't know if cereal to me is breakfast food and soup.
Right. Yeah.
I guess it could be. It's liquid based if you eat it with milk. And you kind of drink it at the end. I don't know.
Mary's like very happy because
I wish we could see Mary's expression right now because it's just so gleeful. Do tell us, Mary, what's going on?
So Simone, are you a maybe? Are you a maybe at soup?
Or I'm going to go with it's not soup. I'm going to go with it's not soup. I'm going to go with it's not soup. Just only because it's, I don't know. I only because I don't consider soup breakfast. Like I know you could eat anything for breakfast, but say traditional breakfast food, I don't consider that. I wouldn't consider that soup.
Simone, if you could tell that to my father who eats soup for breakfast, and it's But my dad's 87.
He can do whatever he wants.
So,
He's a
yeah.
free passer.
he could do whatever he wants. Yeah.
Listen, in Japan, they eat soup for breakfast.
Okay.
I went to Denny's in Japan, and I ordered myself a waffle and an egg and some bacon. And there was a gentleman next to me eating fish soup.
To be fair, if you went to a Denny's in Des Moines, you could probably order soup at like 8 in the morning as well. So, like, I don't think it's a Japanese thing. I think it's a Denny's thing.
Because what is the definition?
Well, this is what we're trying to tackle in this hard-hitting series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because anything you eat with a spoon in a bowl, technically, if that's the criteria, if it's in a bowl and you eat it with a spoon, anything.
So you're saying yes, Simone. You're saying yes. I feel
Ice
it.
cream could be considered soup then. Ice cream can be considered soup.
I guess. Matt is so disgusted right
I
now.
don't even know anymore. I don't know.
I think Simone is yes.
She said it. Don't push it, Mary.
I don't know. I don't know anymore.
Oh my gosh, how am I going to tally
This is a tricky one.
I'm going to put Simone. I'm going to put Simone in the Carrot Camp episode 1. Who said they were cousins?
Okay, yeah, that sounds good.
Okay,
maybe. Or maybe I don't know. Simone, you got a whole section yourself.
Yeah, because I don't know. Because I think depending on what parameters you put on the definition, cereal can be soup or it's not.
Maybe you're a maybe.
Yeah, I would say I'm a maybe because if you said okay, if it's in a bowl and you eat it with a spoon,
do you guys
that soup? I'd be like okay, but
do you remember in season 1 and we had the Zane Kaplansky defense? I think I want to call it the Holder theory, where the Simone Holder theory, where it's a maybe. If it's in a bowl with a spoon, it could be considered a soup, and that could be the Holder.
Yeah. If you're served something in a bowl and a spoon, you can call it soup. Even if it's mashed potato, you can call it soup. If it's in a bowl, eating it, because technically you're doing the same motion with, or if slurping is involved, maybe like if you have to go.
That drives me crazy.
Then that's
whatever you eat like that can be soup.
That's some really bad mashed potatoes.
I don't know. One year my mom ordered Christmas dinner from Farm Boy, which is a grocery chain, and ordered their potatoes, and they had the consistency of a soup. So it's possible. Really? It was the worst. I just threw them out. I didn't eat them. It was disgusting.
Yeah, I wouldn't even.
That's gross. No,
that's not good.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't even.
It's a shame Farm Boy just signed on as a sponsor.
Join us next episode where I'll be eating their potato soup.
Maybe it was potato soup.
Could be.
Maybe put the wrong label on the can.
Could be
potato soup, which is a soup, a starch, a soup and a starch, and
cereal.
And cereal.
All right.
I need wine after this episode.
I need therapy after this episode. Jesus.
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
Well, Simone, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Where can folks find you on the socials and come to a show of yours?
Well, I'm based in Ottawa, and on Instagram, I'm _Simone Comedy _, and I'm that name on TikTok, and that on TikTok is without the underscores, but Twitter, I have the underscores.
All right.
So Simone Comedy, yeah. If you put Simone Comedy, you'll find me.
You'll find her, or just type her name into Google,
Yeah.
and she's the first one who pops up.
I just followed. Just followed right now.
Thank you. I also have a podcast called Shooting the Breeze. So, yeah. So you can find it through my other socials. So that's fine.
Well, thank you
so much for
Thank
having
you.
me.
This has been great.
Thank you.
This is a blast.
This
is a blast.
Hi, everybody. I'm Mary Kennedy, and my son, Nicholas Hall, is Order Up's Kid of the Week. Nicholas, is cereal soup?
No, cereal is not soup because there is no meat in it.
Order Up is hosted and produced by Matt Ardill,
Mary Kennedy,
Larry Hayne,
Kelly Zemeckis.
and original music is by Rebecca McDonald.